Well, another philosophy was, you said, for our offensive rhythm, it's critical to find its way to our inside players. I think you had mentioned later on that ideally the team should at least get 20 shots from the low post area.
Well, I think that to have a good floor balance, you need to do one of these two things: either reverse the side of the offense at least one time, or playing at least one time in the same action in and out. You know, unless you have, let's say, a deep catch and you go to the shot, or unless you're maybe in the flow of the action and your good three-point shooters are open, and in this case you always give them the green light to shoot even after one pass. But if you don't have a good look, I think you want to move the defense. And the two ways to move the defense can be either shifting the ball from one side to the other, or in and out. You want either them move, the defensive player is either moving on this side, on this level, or this level. As long as they move, you can create gaps, and in those gaps, you can fill those gaps with players cutting, or with the ball, with a pass, and you take advantage of that.
And Andrew and Powell have playing really well, but do you think that went away a little bit last game? Just the volume of jump shots?
Well, you know, I mean, I think Mike made the comment that we took too many jump shots, for sure. But for example, I think that in the game with New York, we looked, I would say pretty good. I felt extremely excited personally, and all the coaches were, and all the players were, because I think in that game we had pretty good balance between inside game and outside game. I think you cannot limit your team to be just an inside team or a perimeter team. You need to combine those two things. I think the great teams combine those two aspects of the game. They have balance on the floor. They usually take a balanced shot on offense, and because of that, they do not give up transition points to the opponent, which is something, for example, in the Denver game hurt us, because we gave up a lot of transition points to Gallinari and other players.
As you personally, you had obviously a really storied coaching career in Europe, but what was it about being an assistant coach in the NBA that appealed to you, just given your storied resume already?
Well, it's very simple. I had been a head coach for 22 years. I was lucky enough to have great players and great teams, and I really wanted to know this league from the inside. And the combination of working with Mike and working with the Los Angeles Lakers was something that I think can happen once time in your lifetime. So I did not think that much to accept the opportunity.
Right. And I think I was reading an article in Sports Illustrated where I think they interviewed you, and you mentioned the want to get assistant coaching experience before any head coaching possibilities.
Well, what I said, and I really mean it, is that you cannot make a plan. I want to become a head coach, especially at such a high level. I just want to be the best possible assistant now to Mike. And if something in the future will develop, fine. Maybe in the future I would love to go back coaching in Europe as a head coach again. Honestly, I'm not making any plan. I'm just living the experience. And as Mike says, one shoot around, one practice, one game at a time.
Gotcha. Would you be open in the future if the right opportunity came up to pursue something like that?
Obviously, how you can't be open. But you know, I also think that you are not in a position to force anything. You know. So, and this has always been my way of seeing things, even in Europe. I mean, you can't force an opportunity, let's say, from CSKA to come, and so you take it. I mean, you just do your best job where you are, and then if somebody from outside likes it, you might have an opportunity. If not, you just leave happy with what you have.
Right. I think that from what I read, there have been instances where I think the Toronto Raptors, Sacramento Kings, and Jersey Nets had reached.
Well, there have been rumors. There have been maybe things going around, but I never got let's say a true opportunity, so I don't consider them like true opportunities.
Right.
Very simple.
Okay.
You know, you can, they can say that you have dinner with a very nice lady, but until you have the real dinner, we're talking about nothing.
So it's just lunch, pretty much.
Exactly.
Just to continue the analogy.
Exactly.